Farewell words to Simon Zelotes. After saying farewell to John, Jesus walked past his own place and paused for a moment beside the empty seat where Judas Iscariot had sat earlier that evening. A sad expression came over his face. None of the apostles knew at that time that their treasurer had left to betray their master. Jesus then went to Simon Zelotes, who stood up and heard the following counsel. "You are a true son of Abraham, but what a struggle it has been for me to try to make you a son of this heavenly kingdom. The roots of a nationalistic, earthly kingdom are deeply embedded in your soul. I love you, and I know that you love me too, Simon, and that you also love the kingdom, but you are still determined to bring about this kingdom in the way you desire. No one among my apostles has a more sincere and honest heart than you, but no one will be as upset and discouraged as you, after I leave earth. Even after I have gone to the Father, remain my apostle, and conduct yourself with dignity as an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven." Jesus had barely finished speaking when the passionate patriot responded, "Master, do not worry that I will not be loyal. I have left everything to dedicate my life to establishing your kingdom on earth, and I will not falter. I have overcome every disappointment so far, and I will not abandon you." Then Jesus placed his hand on Simon's shoulder and said, "It truly pleases me to hear you speak like this. I am not concerned about your loyalty to me and the kingdom, but what will you do when I am gone, and you finally realize that you have not grasped the meaning of my teachings, and that you must revise your misunderstandings, and learn anew about the spiritual order in the kingdom? Well, Simon, when you finally understand all this and when you go out to proclaim this gospel with great power, never forget that I have been with you, even the whole time you were discouraged, and that I will be with you until the end. You will always be my apostle, and when you are willing to see with the eye of the Spirit, and you further yield your will to the will of the Father in heaven, then you will return to work as my ambassador, and no one, due to your slowness in understanding the truths I have taught you, will be able to take away the authority that I have granted you. Devote your life, Simon, to showing how a person can reasonably fulfill my command, how he can meet his worldly obligations to civil authority, and how he can simultaneously serve the spiritual kingdom by supporting his fellow believers. If you are willing to be guided by the Spirit of truth, there will never be any conflict between the demands of earthly citizenship and those of sonship in heaven unless earthly rulers begin to claim the worship that belongs to God alone. Simon, I warn you again, those who take up the sword will perish by the sword, but those who labor in the Spirit will gain eternal life in the coming kingdom. When the work entrusted to you on earth is finished, you will sit with me in my kingdom above. You will indeed see the kingdom you longed for, but not in this life on earth. Continue to believe in me and in what I have revealed to you, and you will receive the gift of eternal life." The words Jesus spoke to Simon were prophetic. After Pentecost, Simon temporarily withdrew. He was literally crushed. As a nationalistic patriot, he had invested too much in an earthly kingdom, the restoration of David's throne. Now everything was lost. He was in despair, but after a few years, he regained courage and went out to preach the gospel of the kingdom. He went to Alexandria and traveled upstream along the Nile into the heart of Africa. Everywhere, he proclaimed the gospel of Jesus and baptized believers. He continued to labor until he became old and weak. He died and was buried in the heart of Africa.